Hi, my name is Lee, and today I have to be a bit quieter because people are at home and I don't want to annoy anyone. I will review episode 9 of Star Trek Picard. As always, I am very torn on this episode. The battle in the beginning was very good at first. Yeah, I like how they had the dogfight between the two little mobile ships. I like the seatbelts. That's a good callback to a deleted scene in Nemesis, and just something that makes sense in general. It was action packed. I like the pew pew lasers. When the flowers came, things got a little bit ridiculous and cheesy and kind of dumb. But it's Star Trek, so it was only a matter of time before something dumb would happen. And I love Star Trek, but cheesy, weird stuff happens all the time. Um, what I liked was when the cube appeared. That was kind of epic. What I didn't like is that one flower can bring down a cube. Like, what the fuck's happening there? And I know it's a damaged cube, and I know it's an epic space flower, but come on. What I absolutely hated is how does the remain structurally intact when crashing on a planet? A cube, a huge thing. Why did everyone or a lot of Borg survive? It was not explained. Not at all. I was waiting for it. And even if we say, okay, they are the Borg, they have the technology, I don't buy it. They crashed. They had to crash into species 8472 ships. They died because of some anomalies in the past. It cannot survive a planetary crash. They were really, really lucky to land within 5 kilometers, the crash site of the android community. Like, really lucky. I know it's a small Earth-like planet, but even a small planet, or like even our moon, you have to be really lucky to get within 5 kilometers by crashing. And I know you are going to say, well, the flowers guided them. Did the flowers also guide the cube? Come on. How did they build the flowers? We were never told. What are the flowers? If they are, it was portrayed as if the android community was planet-side, like on the ground. Do they launch them up? They would have to be filthy rich if they can just build rockets to launch these things up in the air, like as if they were nothing. If they are built in orbit, then where is the dry dock? Or no, not dry dock, the space dock? It makes absolutely no sense. Sung having a son is very far fetched. If anything, it was portrayed in canon as if he did not have a son, and that was his obsession with creating data to have like a son, not not replica, substitute. That's the word. It was very much so portrayed as if there were no sons or daughters to speak of. And now there is one. I guess it is typical of Star Trek to have that excuse. Like they did with Tasha Yar, just to get the actress back. It's just, as I've said, Picard tries to be more serious, or New Trek in general. And when they pull the ridiculous stuff from the older series in this supposedly serious show, it gets ridiculous. But Brent Spiner was cool. He is cool. He can act. And it was fan service. And I've talked about this before. I think this was kind of cheap, shoehorned in fan service, but I enjoyed it, so can't really complain. Agnes ruins everything. I hate her. That's another note I took. She's so annoying. I was really happy when she joined the androids in the end and said, "Oh yeah, I would die as a mother. I would die for you," because I took that as foreshadowing. And maybe she will die and sacrifice her own life. Nothing would make me happier than what if she died next episode. The androids being kind of the bad guys in the end, and the Romulans being the somewhat reasonable people. That was a cool twist. I mean, it's not reasonable to commit genocide, but I mean, the androids are kind of assholes. It was a twist I did not expect. I still expect Narek to have a change of heart, but I think it's not going to happen. They subverted my expectations. They did not go the standard route of, oh well, he does love her after all. That was cool. And it makes sense. He's a Romulan, a Tal Shiar at that. And we all know how loyal they were. Like in TNG, Romulans were real loyal bastards. And in the original series, for that matter. So it's actually cool that they did that. The warbird of Evil Lady looked a bit lame, the design of the ship. I don't know if it's the first time we saw it, or it's the first time we got a clear look at it at last. At least. Wow, I cannot talk. It looked kind of lame. Not terrible, but like warbird. I think of the Dideridex, and it's such a cool design. Well, to be fair, Nemesis, the warbird, already looked kind of crap. The scimitar. So it's not a criticism of this series. Well, it is because it is in the series, but it's a nitpick. The Ruffy and Picard moment with "I love you" when they said that was pretty sweet and cool. Why did they not mention that it is the aromatic syndrome that he has? It's weird. Could have been because I felt like a super nerd. I said, "Oh yeah, aromatic syndrome," and I was just waiting, and he didn't say it. It's weird that he does not say anything, because those characters don't actually know. So, what are you doing, Picard? It feels kind of like how they avoided mentioning Lal at all cost, even though she's super relevant for this entire plot, being Data's daughter. And artificial life created by artificial life, which is a concept that they didn't bring up for some reason. It's super weird how they couldn't possibly have forgotten about it, but they didn't bring it up. It's weird. The little tool Ruffy got with "use your imagination to fix stuff," that was fantasy as fuck, and I don't like it. It's ridiculous. It sounds like some Care Bear shit, like, if you just believe in it, you can fix a ship with this little Ocarina of Time, or what it looked like, an Ocarina of Time. It reminded me of, I think the two-parter was called Gambit in TNG. Maybe that's a different two-parter and I'm confusing things, where they find a super weapon and like a Romulan, I think, gets control of it. But then it has no effect on them, because it can only kill bad people or angry people. But since they are Starfleet, they are pure in their hearts, and they are like shot by that thing, pew pew, and then it just washes over them. And they remain alive because this ancient super weapon cannot defeat the power of friendship and love. That was ridiculous. I didn't like that episode, and this was a similar case. I feel like I wanted to say more. I like the designs of the androids, like the weird skin they have, obviously kind of reminiscent of Data. I liked how colorful the planet was. it reminded me of Star Trek Online, if you're on away missions there, which sounds like I'm insulting this episode, because those away missions are pretty boring in Star Trek Online, but I always liked how colorful and alien those planets looked. Like it looked cool, is all I'm saying. I give this episode a 2 out of 5 because it made no gosh dang sense, even though I liked the plot with, the reveal of like the prophecy, I guess. I skipped a thing. Also, Picard wanting to deliver his speech, that was cool and in character. I liked that they brought that back. That was all. So, I like the overall story development, but they did not think about how they wanted to get to that point at all. It's just like, this has to happen so we can get there. Nonsensical flowers lead to nonsensical crash, leads to nonsensical other stuff. I forgot the biggest pet peeve I had. How can an android, a non-living thing, a machine, learn mind meld? Makes no sense. I was under the strong impression that only Vulcans were able to do it because they are a telepathic species. You know how when that one Vulcan ship was destroyed in TOS and Spock heard their screams of agony light years away, like, I just felt the death of 400 Vulcans or something. And, he is able to do mind meld because he's a half Vulcan, like Admiral O. She's also half Vulcan. How can an android do that, who doesn't even have a brain? I know positronic, yeah, it's like a brain, but can humans just do that? Picard had a mind meld with Sarek. Can he just do mind melds now? Because, oh yeah, I know how he did that. Let me do mind meld. It makes no sense. Maybe if Betazoids or, I don't know, are Lethians telepathic? I don't know. If at least a telepathic species could do that, that would make sense. But that an android can do it makes no sense. I actually thought when she approached Tilly 2.0 that they would put her into a seat and have a thing on her head, or those neural thingies that they always glue to people's foreheads when they do brain stuff. I totally expected that, and that would have made sense in Star Trek terms. They often manipulate thoughts and stuff. That would have made sense. They had the technology, but no, they had to arbitrarily come up with a shitty thing, like androids doing mind melds. I did not like this episode overall, even though I did like it overall, but the pet peeves and total nonsense, lazy writing, terrible writing, make it go down to a 2 out of 5 points. I hope the finale, if they kill off Agnes, I will give it at least a 3 out of 5, no matter how terrible the next episode will be. If she dies, I can die happy. This was Lee. I hope you enjoyed my review. Peace. Wait, where's the waving thing? Here she is. She's waving. And that's the part where insert the end cards. You can click these videos. Also subscribe, please. Yeah. Bye.